We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kalen. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
No need, Duncan. You are Bryce's youngest, are you not? I don't think we've ever actually met.
Dude, you're fucking hot. Yes, Your Majesty, my name is Brielle.
Your brother has already arrived with High Ever's men, but we are still awaiting your father.
Oh, my brother's here. Well, I mean, I might as well get to the point.
Dead? What do you mean? Duncan, do you know anything about this?
Terran Kusland and his wife are dead, Your Majesty. Arl Howe has shown himself a traitor and overtaken High Ever Castle. Had we not escaped, he would have killed us and told you any story he wished.
I can scarcely believe it. Well, how could he think he could get away with such treachery? As soon as we are done here, I will turn my army north and bring Howe to justice. You have my word.
There isn't anything you can do sooner?
Howe knows his actions will cost him his life, but I'll need an army to bring him to justice.
Why?
No doubt you wish to see your brother. Unfortunately, he and his men are scouting in the wilds.
When will he return?
Not until the battle is over, I fear. Until then, we cannot even send word. I apologize, but there's nothing more I can do. All I can suggest is that you vent your grief against the Darkspawn for the time being.
So long as Arl Howe pays, that motherfucker.
I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different.
You sound very confident.
Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here.
Didn't seem to take it very seriously.
True. Despite the victory so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling.
Maybe we should move quickly.
Yes, we should proceed with the ritual.
What do you mean? What ritual? Is this a cult?
Every
What's
recruit
going on?
must go through a secret ritual we call the joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon.
Why is this ritual so secret?
The joining is dangerous. I cannot speak more of it except to say that you will learn all in good time. Until then, you must trust that what is done is necessary.
What do you need me to do?
Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Your hound can stay with me while I attend to some business. The Grey Warden tent is on the other side of this bridge. You will find us there should you need to.
Hale, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought.
Yeah, my dad died. And my mom. Be like the buzzkill of the group. Yeah, my mom and dad died.
Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now?
Know where the king is?
I believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds them in high regard, you know, as his father did.
Tell me about the king.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Terran Loghain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
We'll see.
That's how the Terran feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny the Terran called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
The queen?
She's the Terran's daughter. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it.
I should go.
As you wish.
Yep. I'm meeting people right now. It's like a meet and greet.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die.
Hey.
Well, don't touch the carcass. We'll be burning it so it doesn't infect anything.
Touch. Fuck you. Damn it.
This is supposed to be the battle that sends these darkspawn back underground. You believe that?
I don't know what to believe. We've won every battle, but there's more of them each time.
Makes you wonder if them Grey Wardens are right.
I don't want to think about that.
Sounds like the perfect time to get drunk, if you ask me.
Yes. Oh, there's a lady praying. Hi, are you okay?
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter.
I hope you're okay. Loghain's guard. What's up?
You approach the tent of Terran Loghain. State your business.
Damn. Terran inside.
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activity. I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yeah, I do. So,
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
Yeah, I'm a princess. Yes, I am.
Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Marek respected the Grey Wardens. They have an honored place in the hearts of our people. But Marek would have understood that it takes more than legends to win a battle. That's not an argument I'll repeat here. You look familiar. Have I seen you at the Lands meet?
My father was the Terran of Highever.
The king told me of his promise. I'm certain he has every intention of following it through. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you?
I don't know.
If Kaelin has his way, you will. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sword.
You don't seem very fond of him.
He is Marek's son, and the leader of my beloved Ferelden, and a very young man. I try to keep that in mind, as should you.
And he is also your wife's, your daughter's husband. I don't know why you call her your wife, but she's...
We stand here in this hour, the folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may await. Death is no failure, my friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served your maker. Die in this battle, and when you stand before the Maker in the land beyond the Fade, he shall not find you wanting. Go not into death gladly, but with the knowledge that evil has been held at bay by your spilled blood. And if you go to stand beside the Maker, go with our blessing, for you shall not be forgotten. My friends, let us bow our heads and remember those who have fallen and those who have yet to fall.
Oh. Oh. I'm just so scared. I feel so bad. Hey, what's up?
Excuse me, I must get the hounds ready for battle. Half the dogs are sick from darkspawn blood. It's terrible.
Terrible. So terrible.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Tern Logain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
You can't say please? You can't say please? Asshole. Hey.
What do you need? You haven't brought more instructions from the 10, I hope.
Talk to everyone like that?
If I feel like it. If you're not from the 10, what do you want? We're busy. We aren't. We're Ash Warriors.
What's an Ash Warrior?
Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
Okay.
We harness the rage inside us, nurture it, and draw it out so we cannot fall in battle until our last foe is slain. It is a dwarven discipline, but we've adapted it to let us fight alongside our hounds. That is our way. I trust my hound with my life, as he trusts me with his.
Yes, I know. I have a Mabari hound of my own.
Then you are most fortunate. A trained Mabari hound is as dangerous as any sword. We do not speak of a city pet or those things that sit in an old woman's lap. My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
Alright. I'm just looking around right now. Hi. Oh, he's a little puppy. That's a cute puppy.
Hail. You're one of Duncan's new recruits, correct? I can't let you through to the Korkari Wilds until he gives the word.
Why not?
The Korkari Wilds is a dangerous place, more so now that it crawls with darkspawn. They say the Great Blight began deep within its forests. One of our scouting patrols has been gone for 3 days. We're taking bets on who got them first, the Darkspawn or the Witches of the Wilds.
The Witches of the Wilds. Who are they?
There's an old legend in these parts about Flemeth, the apostate sorceress who conquered this area centuries ago. She united the chasing barbarians and invaded the farmlands. That's when the great hero, Cormac, destroyed her army with his. Took her head right off, so they say. Her daughters survived and became the Witches of the Wild. Tales tell of them plaguing this area since. Mostly superstitions, stealing babies and spoiling milk.
Okay. So why mention them?
Spend enough time here, you'll get an earful about those witches. Locals blame them for near everything. At any rate, that's why Duncan doesn't want you wandering out without his say-so.
Okay. I can respect his wishes. But I want to find my brother.
He calls.
In the name of Andraste, I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eyes. So let it be.
I'm just looking around. Don't. No!
Sorry, miss. The army camp is off limits for you right now.
Okay. What's this?
Let's get started.
Damn it. I think there is a shop around here somewhere. Yes.
Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some Darkspawn spear this time tomorrow.
Dude, what the fuck?
Well, you're not what I thought you'd be.
Who are you?
The name's Daveth. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit.
What do you know about it?
I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
Alright.
We're right on the northern edge of the Kokari Wilds here, miles and miles of savage country. My home village isn't far, and I grew up on tales about the wilds. Even been in there a few times. Scary place.
Okay. But why would they send us into the forest?
Sounds like some kind of test. Maybe we'll hunt us a souvenir or two. It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice.
They're forcing you to be here?
I've got nowhere else to go after what Duncan saved me from. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
Alright. There's another dude up here, I think, too, that we're gonna be doing stuff with. Is it this guy? It's this guy. Hey.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about.
Yes, I am Brielle.
Serturi is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Eamon. I was not aware they permitted women to join the Grey Wardens. None of those I've seen thus far have been.
What? I am a warrior, just as you are.
You obviously impressed Duncan, and that's enough for me. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance?
Curious about the joining ritual.
As am I. Has anyone told you about it?
Only that it's dangerous.
I never heard of such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Okay. Alright, and I think that this thing, yeah, this place, this is a shop. Hi.
Have you seen an elf running about? Young woman, red hair, carrying a suit of chain.
No.
Blast it. Where did she go? That suit better be patched up when she gets back, or by the maker up. Oh, pardon my manners. My troubles are no concern of yours, I'm sure. I'm the quartermaster. Did you come for supplies?
Do you need help tracking this girl down?
Oh, I'm sure you have better things to do than run errands for me. I can find her myself.
Alright, let me see what you have.
Let me know what you'd like.
Alright, we'll see you later. I'm letting my pal. Hi.
Welcome, young woman.
Who are you?
I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity.
You speak very weird-like.
Allow me to put it this way. Do you know why those with magical talent are feared?
Not entirely.
Those with magical talent attract demons and spirits. We can be possessed easily and thus become horrors known as abominations. Even those with minor talents attract hungry spirits. Anyone with the power may learn blood magic from these demons. Hence, we are considered dangerous. This is our curse. Thus, I was made tranquil, stripped of emotions and talent. I am no longer dangerous.
I feel badly for you. That's horrible.
You do? I feel nothing. As the name suggests, my existence is quite peaceful. I am alive, productive, and no danger to anyone. Surely that is not a terrible thing. Perhaps we may speak of something else. Do you need assistance?
What is enchantment?
It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not. Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well.
Alright, well, I'll leave you to your peacefulness.
Goodbye.
I'm still very, very sorry. I hope that you'll be okay in the future. Hello, lady.
Greetings, young lady. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king.
I am Brielle.
Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact.
Will you be fighting beside the king?
Not precisely. The Grey Wardens will be on the front lines, not the mages. Still, we have our parts to play. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp.
So, do you know much about Darkspawn?
Some. Do you? Do you know about the connection between them and the Fade, for example?
I know the Fade is where you go when you dream.
Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
Okay. I've heard that.
Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
Alright. Chantry says many things.
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
At least something to ponder.
Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Aw, but I like talking to you, Wynne.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
What are they doing? It doesn't... they're just standing there making fuzzies. Alright, what's up? What's going on? Up here.
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's like a party. We could all stand in a circle and hold hands. That would give the Darkspawn something to think about. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage?
We haven't met. You must be Alistair.
And that makes you Duncan's new recruit, I suppose. Glad to meet you. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Brielle.
Right, that was the name. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is.
Please don't be like a misogynist. Probably because we're too smart for you.
True, but if you're here, what does that make you?
Just one of the boys?
Sad, isn't it? So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before?
No, I haven't.
When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started.
What were you arguing with that one angry dude about?
With the mage. The Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are. Which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar.
What's a Templar? I know what a Templar is. That would be awkward.
I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger. and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech.
What about the other recruits?
Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them?
Yes, both of them.
That makes things easy then. They'll both be back with Duncan by now.
I look forward to traveling with you.
You do? Huh. That's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on.
Yeah. What's up, dude?
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me.
No, I haven't.
I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you. All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
Oh, shit. Why haven't they fed you?
I expect nobody thought of it with all the battles and such.
Tell me why you're in there first.
I'm a deserter. Or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way.
Did you desert?
I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water.
It matters to me.
Oh, that's sweet of you, dearie. How about you marry me instead? At least I could get a kiss before they hang me. And it's not as if they're wrong. I probably would have deserted later. Just not when they caught me is all. Hope that doesn't spoil your opinion of me. I'm still hungry enough to eat my shoe.
I'll see what I can do.
Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Alright. Hey, dude.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
Shit. I had a chat with him.
Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation.
He asked for some food and water.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
Well, I mean, it's the guard's meal. I'll buy it from you. What if I buy it?
10 silver. Well, feed him if you want to. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
Cool. It's alright, I'm a princess. Hey, I got you some food.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
Here's some food.
Much obliged. You're a kind soul, you are. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you.
Aww. Bye.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood, 1 for each recruit.
Alright. What do we need Darkspawn blood for?
for the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
What's the second task?
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls are these?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
Alright. What if they're no longer there?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
How will we find it?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
Alright.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
Awesome. Okay. Bye, puppy. I'll be back soon, okay? Let's go.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.
This place doesn't look intimidating at all. Looks like a normal forest. What the fuck?
Finally, some wildlife.
Oh, hello. Oh, what's this? Alright. Oh no! Oh, are you okay? Hey!
Who is that? Grey Wardens?
Well, he's not half as dead as he looks, is he?
My scouting band was attacked by Darkspawn. They came out of the ground. Please help me. I've got to return to camp.
Let's try to bandage him up at least.
I have bandages in my pack.
Thank you. I've got to get out of here.
Did you hear? An entire patrol of seasoned men killed by Darkspawn.
Calm down, Sir Jory. We'll be fine if we're careful.
Those soldiers were careful, and they were still overwhelmed. How many Darkspawn can the four of us slay? A dozen? 100? There's an entire army in these forests.
There are Darkspawn about, but we're in no danger of walking into the bulk of the Horde.
How do you know? I'm not a coward, but this is foolish and reckless. We should go back.
Overcoming these dangers is part of our task. We're Grey Wardens.
That's true.
Know this. All Grey Wardens can sense Darkspawn. Whatever their cunning, I guarantee they won't take us by surprise. That's why I'm here.
You see, Sir Knight, we might die, but we'll be warned about it first.
That is reassuring.
That doesn't mean I'm here to make this easy, however. So let's get a move on.
Cool. Oh, hello.
That flower, white with a red center. The Kennel Master at Ostagar was asking about those.
Why did he want them?
The Kennel Master said this flower can help dogs that get sick from biting Darkspawn. At any rate, he was offering a reward if someone went into the wilds and brought him one. Might want to think about it is all.
Alright. I got it. Oh, what? Oh, is it over? Battle's over. We won. We good. Okay. So what's up here? What are the wolves guarding? Yes. I'm okay with this. What? Let's see, and yes, hidden cache. Inside the fire. Oh, I'm gonna bring it to Jeddah. Yeah. He wants it to go to Jeddah. Ah. I see. Oh. Oh god. Yeah, don't touch those. Oh shit! Fuck. Ah yes. Yes. Just drop. Here you go. Oh. Holy shit. No, Kill it. It needs to die. No. Oh my god. I'm burning. Yes. You send that little guy after me? That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. And okay. I think we're good to move forward with our lives. Yes.
Well, well.
Hello.
What have we here?
Hello. You're very pretty.
Are you a vulture, I wonder? A scavenger, poking amidst a corpse whose bones were long since cleaned? Or merely an intruder, come into these darkspawn-filled wilds of mine in search of easy prey?
Hi.
What say you, Scavenger or intruder?
Neither. I am neither.
'Tis a tower no longer. The wilds have obviously claimed this desiccated corpse. I have watched your progress for some time. Where do they go, I wondered? Why are they here? And now you disturb ashes none have touched for so long. Why is that?
Don't answer her. She looks chastened, and that means others may be nearby.
Oh, you fear barbarians will swoop down upon you.
Yes, swooping is bad.
Yes.
She's a witch of the wilds, she is. She'll turn us into toads.
Witch of the wilds. Such idle fancies, those legends. Have you no minds of your own? You there. Women do not frighten like little boys. Tell me your name and I shall tell you mine.
Okay. I am Brielle. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Now that is a proper civil greeting, even here in the wilds. You may call me Morrigan. Shall I guess your purpose? You sought something in that chest? Something that is here no longer?
Here no longer? You stole them, didn't you? You're some kind of sneaky witch thief.
How very eloquent.
How does one steal from dead men?
Quite easily, it seems. Those documents are Grey Warden property, and I suggest you return them.
I will not, for 'twas not I who removed them. Invoke a name that means nothing here any longer if you wish. I am not threatened.
Who removed them?
'Twas my mother, in fact.
Can you take us to her?
There is a sensible request. I like you.
I'd be careful. First it's, I like you, but then zap. Frog time.
This is
She'll put us
true.
all in the pot, she will. Just you watch.
If the pot's warmer than this forest, it'd be a nice change.
See, Jory's got the right idea. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer. The sleeping dragon Dumat, their taint, twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world. The first blight. Threnodes 8-7. The false dragon gods of the Teventer Imperium lie buried deep within the earth, where they have been imprisoned since the Maker cast them down. No one knows what it is that drives the Darkspawn in their relentless search for the sleeping old gods. Perhaps it is instinct, as moths will fly into torch flames. Perhaps there is some remnant of desire for vengeance upon the ones who goaded the magisters to assault heaven. Whatever the reason, when Darkspawn find one of these ancient dragons, it is immediately afflicted by the taint. It awakens twisted and corrupted, and leads the Darkspawn in a full-scale invasion of the land, a blight. To our neighbors, Ferelden seems utterly chaotic. Unlike other monarchies, power does not descend from our throne. Rather, it rises from the support of the freeholders. Each freehold chooses the ban or Arl to whom it pays allegiance. Typically, this choice is based on proximity of the freehold to the Lord's castle, as it's worthless to pay for the upkeep of soldiers who will arrive at your land too late to defend it. For the most part, each generation of freeholders casts its lot with the same ban as their fathers did, but things can and do change. No formal oaths are sworn, and it is not unheard of, especially in the prickly central Banorn, for bands to court freeholders away from their neighbors, a practice which inevitably begets feuds that last for ages. Terrans arose from amongst the bands, war leaders who, in antiquity, had grown powerful enough to move other bands to swear fealty to them. There were many Terrans in the days before King Calenhad, but he succeeded in whittling them down to only 2. Warren in the south, Highever in the north. These Terrans still hold the oaths of the bands and Arls who they may call upon in the event of war or disaster, and similarly, the Terrans still hold responsibility for defending those sworn to them. The Arls were established by the Terrans, given command of strategic fortresses that could not be overseen by the Terrans themselves. Unlike the Terrans, the Arls have no bands sworn to them, and are simply somewhat more prestigious bands. The king is in essence the most powerful of the Terrans. Although Denerim was originally the Terraner of the king, it has since been reduced to Arling, as the king's domain is now all of Ferelden. But even the king's power must come from the bands. Nowhere is this more evident than during the Landsmeet, an annual council for which all the nobles of Ferelden gather, held for almost 3,000 years except odd interruptions during blights and invasions. The sight of a king asking for and working to win the support of lesser men is a source of constant wonder to foreign ambassadors. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Katrine, Chantry Scholar. The Kuzlin family, however, was all but wiped out in an unexpected attack by Arl Howe of Amaranth, and the fate of the Tyranner is now in question. From Ferelden's Folklore and History by Sister Katrine, Chantry Scholar. Wow, that was written fast. The first blight had already raged for 90 years. The world was in chaos. A god had risen, twisted and corrupted The remaining gods of Tevinter were silent, withdrawn. What writing we have recovered from those times is filled with despair, for everyone believed, from the greatest archons to the lowliest slaves, that the world was coming to an end. At Weishaupt fortress in the desolate Anderfels, a meeting transpired. Soldiers of the Imperium, seasoned veterans who had known nothing their whole entire lifetimes except hopeless war, came together. When they left Weishaupt, they had renounced their oaths to the Imperium. They were soldiers no longer. They were Grey Wardens. The Wardens began an aggressive campaign against the Blight, striking back against the Darkspawn, reclaiming lands given up for lost. The Blight was far from over, but their victories brought notice, and soon they received aid from every nation in Thedas. They grew in numbers as well as reputation. Finally, in the year 992 of the Tevinter Imperium, upon the Silent Plains, they met the archdemon Dumat in battle. A third of all the armies of the northern Thedas were lost to the fighting, but Dumat fell, and Darkspawn fled back underground. Even that was not the end. The Imperium once revered 7 gods: Dumat, Zazikel, Toth, Andral, Razikael, Lusakin, and Earthemiel. 4 have risen as archdemons. The Grey Wardens have kept watch over the ages, well aware that peace is fleeting and that their war continues until the last of the dragon gods is gone. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Katrine, Chantry Scholar. It is said that in the midst of the Black Age, when werewolves stalked the lands of Ferelden in numbers that kept every farmholder indoors and a hound on every doorstep, a powerful Arl of the Alanari people stood and declared that he would put an end to the threat. His Arling stood on the border of the dark forest on the southern border of the Ferelden Valley, and he claimed that the werewolves used the forest to launch their midnight assaults on humanity. For 20 years, this Arl led an army of warriors and hounds deep into the forest. In his hunt for the werewolves, he slew not only every wolf he came upon, but also every member of the chastened wilder folk. Any one of them, he said, could harbor a demon inside, and thus be a werewolf in disguise. For 20 years, the forest rang with screams, and the rivers ran red. The tales say that an old chastened woman found her sons all dead at the Arl's blades. She pulled out one of those very blades from one son's heart and plunged it into her own chest, cursing the Arl's name as she did so. Where her blood touched the ground, a mist began to rise. It spread and spread until it was everywhere in the forest. The Arl's army became lost, and it is said that they died there. Others say they wander still. The ruins of his Arling stand to this day, filled with the ghosts of women, waiting eternally for their husbands to return. The forest of the legend is, of course, the Kokari Wilds. There are as many legends about the great southern forest as there are shadows, or so the saying goes. The chastened wilder folk have made their home there since mankind first came to these lands, and the wildlands spread as far into the south as anyone has ventured. Beyond the mists are vast tracts of snow, white-capped mountains, and entire fields of ice. It is a land too cold for mankind to survive, yet the chastened eke out an existence even there, and they tell of horrors beyond the wilds that the lowland folks could not begin to comprehend. The most Ferelden simply ends with the Kokari Wilds. There is nothing beyond. The Wilds is a land of great trees, wet marshes, and dangerous monsters. What more need be said? From Land of the Wilders by Mother Alis, the Chantry Scholar, 918, Dragon. Those who had sought to claim heaven by violence destroyed it. What was golden and pure turned black. Those who had once been mage lords, the brightest of their age, were no longer men, but monsters. Threnodies 12:1. Sin was the midwife that ushered the Darkspawn into the world. The Magisters fell from the Golden City, and their fate encompassed all our worlds, for they were not alone. No one knows where the Darkspawn came from. A dark mockery of men, in the darkest places they thrive, growing in numbers as a plague of locusts will. In raids, they will often take captives, dragging their victims alive into the deep roads, but most evidence suggests that these are eaten. Like spiders, it seems Darkspawn prefer their food still breathing. Perhaps they are simply spawned by the darkness. Certainly, we know that evil has no trouble perpetuating itself. The last blight was in the Age of Towers, striking once again at the heart of Tevinter, spreading south into Orlais and east into the Free Marches. The plague spread as far as Ferelden, but the withering and twisting of the lands stopped well beyond our borders. Here, darkspawn have never been more than the stuff of legends. In the northern lands, however, particularly Tevinter and the Anderfells, they say darkspawn haunt the hinterlands, preying on outlying farmers and isolated villagers, a constant threat. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Petrine, Chantry Scholar. I'd hoped for a war like in the tales, a king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. Son of the legendary King Merith Theron, Caelin was the first Ferelden king born into a land free from foreign rule in 2 generations. Since his father's death, he held the throne alongside his queen, Anora. When Bryce sent his men to support the king at Ostagar, Howe took it as an opportunity to attack Highever, slaughtering the people there and claiming the lands and title as his own. Of all the inhabitants of Castle Cousland, only Brielle survived. It takes more than legends to win a battle. Logain was born a farmer during a time when his country was under foreign occupation. When he was still a boy, he joined the resistance, where his considerable tactical genius quickly became apparent. He became close friends with Prince Merith, the last true heir to the Ferelden throne, and together they led the rebels to drive out the forces of the Orlesian Empire. Merith raised his friend to the nobility, and Logain is now more of a symbol than a man. He represents the Ferelden ideals of hard work and independence. These are the most common darkspawn in the underground. Stocky and tough, Genlocks are notoriously difficult to kill, even by magic. Taller than their Genlock cousins, the Hurlocks are roughly of human size, but are possessed by considerable strength and constitution. The shock troop of the darkspawn, a single berserking Hurlock, can often be a match for numerous opponents at once. They are known to adorn themselves with roughly carved tattoos to keep track of their kills and deeds, though it is unknown whether or not there is a uniform standard to these markings. It is rather unfair the reputation that the wolf possesses in Ferelden. For a people that so clearly adore their hounds, Fereldans simultaneously harbor a distrust of wolves that border on the unreasonable. Unreasonable, that is, if one were not familiar with the ancient legends regarding werewolves. There was a time in Ferelden's past when demons inhabited the bodies of wolves in great numbers, causing the wars against werewolves and spreading great fear and panic. The werewolves were slain, but even today the noble wolf is still looked down upon with distrust. From Legends of Ferelden by Mother Eilis of Denerim, 910 Dragon. An attack by wolves upon civilized folk happens rarely, often only in times of desperation, even then only when the wolves have the advantage of numbers. This can change during the Blight. When darkspawn rise onto the surface, their presence dramatically alters the savage nature of normal beasts. In Blights past, as the corruption of the darkspawn spread through the wilder areas of Thedas, it would infect the animals found there, and the more powerful of them would survive and be transformed into a more vicious and dangerous beast. A blight wolf is one such example, mad with the pain of its infection, and only through the overriding command of the darkspawn does it still retain some semblance of its pack instincts. Blight wolves are always found in large groups and will tend to overwhelm a single target if they can, using their numbers to their advantage. It is fortunate that these creatures rarely survive their corruption for very long. No matter their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields? You are the lords of the earth. Go forth and claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods." In secret, they worked magic upon magic. All their power and all their vanity they turned against the veil until at last it gave way. Above them a river of light, before them the throne of heaven, waiting, beneath their feet the footprints of the Maker, and all around them echoed a vast silence. But when they took a single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. And so is the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of their crime, bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. Deep into the earth they fled, away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer, the sleeping dragon Dumat. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all of the nations of the world. The first blight, from Threnodi's 8. The study of the Fate is as old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have walked its twisting paths, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart, always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our world. The Tevinter Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fade, an ultimately futile endeavor. Although portions of it belong to powerful spirits, all of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the disparate of ever-shifting realms of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloging a few hundred types of spirits before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. The spirits who dwell there, however, can, and as the Chantry teaches us, the great flaw of the spirits is that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through their sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people, and events, which, like the reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the world, the worst thoughts and fears of mortals, and build their realms with no other ambition than to taste life. From Tranquility and the Role of the Fade in Human Culture by First Enchanter Josephus. The Tranquil are the least understood but most visible members of the Circle. Every city of respectable size boasts a Circle of Magi shop, and every one of these shops is run by a tranquil proprietor. The name is a misnomer, for they are not tranquil at all. Rather, they are like inanimate objects that speak. If a table wished to sell you an enchanted penknife, it could pass as one of these people. Their eyes are expressionless, their voices monotone. Incomparable craftsmen that they might be, but they are hardly the sort of mages to put ordinary folk at ease. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi, it is difficult to separate the man from the myth. The last survivor of the bloodline of King Calanhad, the Silver Knight, Merrick, drove the Orlesian forces from Ferelden's borders, reclaimed the throne, and freed our people from foreign tyranny. All true, and all larger than life. He was born in hiding near Cathal's crossing to the rebel queen Moira, and grew up in the rebel camps, an outlaw in his own country. When the rebel queen died, Merrick inherited her homeless nobles in malcontents and displaced freeholders, and with the aid of his friend Logan McTeer, built them into an army. After the pivotal battle of River Dane, Merrick took the throne. He married Rowan, daughter of Rindorn Weirin, Arl of Redcliffe, and began the long, slow process of rebuilding everything Orlais had demolished during 70 years of occupation. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together. Alistair was a novice Templar when Duncan recruited him into the Grey Wardens, or rescued him, as Alistair would say. I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. Wynn's talent became apparent early on, particularly her skill at healing magic. She was well liked by all her mentors, and was recognized as an exceptionally gifted student. Even the Templars who watched her could not deny that she represented the best the Circle had to offer. She was an intelligent young woman who possessed a quiet confidence and maturity beyond her years. She spent many years mentoring apprentices within the circle, and her peers thought so highly of her that she was asked to be first enchanter Irving's successor, but she refused, saying that she had no desire to work in the upper echelons. When word reached the tower of King Kaelin's call to arms, Wen volunteered to go to Ostagar. My dearest son, it pleases me that you wish to follow in my footsteps and bring the Maker's word to the unenlightened. I wish you had chosen a less dangerous place to do so. Apologies for leaving early for the wild, son, but I wanted to set up camp and get things started. The chastened respect one with survival skills in the wilds, so I hoped to get a good grip on that before you arrived and maybe establish an agreement with the local tribes so that we had friends when you came. When you reach the wilds, you'll find it difficult to navigate. I've listed certain landmarks below. If you follow them, they will lead you to a location I've scouted out, where I've left you some supplies. If you're lost, try to get back to that spot, and I'll find you. The landmarks are as follows. Beginning at the entrance to the wilds from Ostagar, look for a tree leaning on a ruined building. Pass under a fallen tree bridge. Pass a submerged tower on the right. Look between a high ruined arch and a mossy standing stone. Walk along a path of roots and stones. Look for 2 large statues with a chest between them. There you will find our meeting point. I love you, Jogby, my son. I hope to see you soon. Your father, Rigby. My dear son, Jogby, I fear this is the last letter I will write you. I have had difficult finding the chastened to bring them the Maker's word. I have, however, seen evidence of their passing. They appear to have left this area in great haste, possibly fleeing the so-called darkspawn that are rumored to be gathering in the wilds even in ever greater numbers. I have left you a weapon and everything else I can spare, my son. I will try to find you once I have found a safe place. I only hope that you will be safe. With luck, we will meet again. If you see her, tell your mother that I love her, and take care of our family. Your loving father, Rigby. To whomever finds this note, this is the last will and testament of Rigby the missionary, proud speaker of the Maker's word. I have come to the wilds to speak the chant, but I fear I will die here at the hands of the Darkspawn. I leave all that I came with to my wife, Jeddah. Should the reader of this note feel charitable, I have buried a sealed lockbox in our camp, nestled in a Tevinter ruin in the western reaches of the wilds. It is my will that this lockbox finds my wife in Redcliffe, and that it is still sealed shut when it reaches her. To my wife and my son, I apologize that my work has taken me from you, but I know that I die in service to the Maker, Rigby. The chastened barbarians are nothing if not clever. They have hidden markers and signs in the arrangements of stones and rubble along the paths of the wilds. In this way, they mark trails, note places of interest, and even give warnings in a way that outsiders cannot understand. Interestingly, these markers look indistinguishable from a regular pile of stones. I have dedicated my time to deciphering these signs, and I believe I am close to a breakthrough. The trail markers seem to point to a ford or a location used for secret storage among the chastened. I have only found a portion of the message, however. I think that if I could complete the message, find all the trail markers, I can find this cache and see what treasure the chastened have to hide. I have found one such marker near this camp under a fallen tree leaning against the ruins. Each marker seems to point to 1 or 2 others. I hear rumors that a Darkspawn horde is coming. I hope I can find this treasure before it's too late. An excerpt from Rigby's field journal. Alphas. Alpha Herlocks are more intelligent and more skilled fighters, often serving as commanders or even generals. Emissaries. Herlock emissaries have also been known to appear during the Blight. These Darkspawn are the only ones recorded as being capable of human speech, and are often capable of employing magic. Torn from a book on local myths and legends, the Kokari Wilds are rife with legends and myths that have amazed and confounded scholars since the fall of Ostagar in ancient times. One such mystery lies behind the tale of Astia and Nebunar, 2 young lovers who lived in Ostagar. The legend says that Astia grew up in the company of Gazareth, a spirit of the earth bound to an overhang on the bank of a lake in the Kokari Wilds. Gazareth began to fancy her, and they spent much of their days together talking and laughing. Over the years, however, Ostia became a woman and began to seek the company of men. When Ostia met Nebinar, the two fell in love, and Ostia hoped to bring her lover to see her spirit friend. But the spirit, angered and jealous, bade her begone. Gazareth told her that she would never see it again until she brought her lover's ashes and sprinkled them over their spot. Ostia was horrified, and she fled from the enraged spirit. But she began to miss Gazareth, and on the day Nebinar asked her to marry him, she cut her beloved's throat, burned him, and brought his ashes to Gazareth, knowing that their marriage would forever sever her ties to her dear spirit friend. There are legends among the Chasins that Gazareth still haunts that lake, and that those who sprinkle the ashes of the deceased over the right spot can summon the spirit. In memory of the contract with its beloved Ostia, Gazareth will grant a single wish and then vanish, never to be heard from again. A note is scribbled in the margin beneath the page. Marcus, I think this is real. If you take the ashes I gave you and scatter them over a pile of rocks on an overhang overlooking the half-sunken Venter Dome, maybe Gazareth will appear and give you a wish. If the battle takes you there, I think it's worth a try.